Okay. All right. We're going to take a look at the homework for equivalent ratios. So, two equivalent ratios are going to be called a proportion. So, it's a new vocab word for this unit. Now, within the ratio, you're going to look at within factors and between factors or multiples. So, there's within the ratio, which means going up and down. You're inside the first ratio. And then there's between the ratios where you're looking left and right. Okay. So here we're just going to write two equivalent ratios, which means we're going to make proportions. So a quick way to make a proportion is just go ahead and multiply it by 2. 8 times 2 is 16, and then 5 times 2 is 10. So this ratio, 16 over 10, is equal to 8 over 5. And we can also multiply by 3. So 8 times 3 is 24, and 5 times 3 is 15. So these are all said to be proportional as far as ratios because they have a common factor on the top and the bottom of the fractions. So we can do same thing here, times 2, and then times 3, and times 3. So 4 to 5, 8 to 10, and 12 to 15. So the ratios are staying consistent as it goes through the multiples. And just real quick math now, 18 and 22 times 3 is going to be 27, times 3 is 33. Times 2 is 16, times 2 is 6. That gives 24 over 9. So keep in mind, this is looking at between the ratio factors, between the two numbers. So we got 10 and 4, and then 15 and 6. 14 times 2 times 3 times 2 times 3. Now, there are some properties that we can check and see about the ratios being equivalent to see if they are proportions or not. This is from 5th grade, a quick check. Is it proportional? Yes or no. How do we do that? Well, if they are proportional, where the first ratio is equal to the second ratio, if we cross multiply, 7 times 12 is 84, and then 9 times 11 is 99. Now, if it is proportional, these numbers are equal, but these are not. 99 is not equal to 84, so this is not a proportion. So we can check this down here real quick. That gives us 121, and we're checking to see, is that equal? This is pretty easy to see. 8 times 3 is 24. 24 is not equal to 121. These are not proportional. Now, instead of doing cross products, you can also look at within factors. 4 does not work well with 11, but if we look at 4 and 24, 4 times 6, well, howdy doody, 4 times 6 is 24. We can use that factor down here and check it. 11 times 6 is 66. Well, happy day, we have a proportion. Yes, this is. Because they are using the same factor, they are said to be proportional. We can go down below and we can pick the 10 and check that as well. 10 and 70, they work out, they get along just fine by a factor of 7. So 9 times 7, we check to see, is that equivalent? And 9 times 7 is 63. Howdy doody. We have a proportion. Yes, these are proportional. And we check one more over here. Now we can look between, and just knowing our multiples, 3 times 4 is 12, and we check and see, does that match up? If it did, 10 times 4 is 40. That's a wrong no-go. It's not going to work right there. So 12 over 11 is not the same as 3 over 10. So this is no, it is not a proportion. So then we can check this one doing cross products. 4 times 3 is 12. And 11 times 5 is 55. That is clear and present. You cannot make that mistake. 55 is not equal to 12. So no, this is not a proportion. All right, so now we looked at equivalent ratios. We looked at what is a proportion. Let's get to it. How can we use this to make it work for solving proportion problems? Two equivalent ratios is what we're going to focus on. All right, so we got this number right here. He's got two buddies. He's got one below. He's got one over here besides him. We're going to check and see it. Is 3 friendly with 7? Nope, doesn't work out so well. Is 3 friendly with 21? Yep, sure is. 3 times 7 is 21. So we go down here and we use the same factor and we get ourselves a proportion. So 7 times 7 is 49. If we put 49 in here, that would be an equivalent ratio. Okay, moving on to number 14. So we got 2, he's surrounded by numbers. You got 8 to the left and 11 down below. So we're going to put a lasso right around 2 here and check and see it. 2 is not friendly with 11. We're not going to use it. Let's check over here. Look between the ratios. Well, howdy doody. 2 times 4 is 8. So we're going to go down here and use that same factor to help us solve and make a proportion. All right, 11 times 4 does give us 44. Our missing number that completes this proportion is 44. Take a look at number 15. Number 15, the number that's surrounded over here is 8. We're going to lasso 8 and check. There's a number above and there's a number to the side of it. All right, 8 does not work so friendly with 7. So we're going to check, what about 8 and 24? Sure does. 8 times 3 works out nicely with 24. We're going to go up here and we're going to finish our proportion multiplying by that same factor. 7 times 3, kid's favorite number, 21. All right, that's my favorite number when I go to casino. Play the blackjack, 21. It's going to win every time. All right, taking a look at number 16. Now we're getting in the groove. We're going to lasso that 7. Check the side right there. 7 times 2, sure is. 7 times 2 is 14. Howdy doody. It looks like it's good. Come up here, going to use the same thing. 8 times 2, we got ourselves a proportion. Bingo, my good buddy. 11 and 11 and 77. Lucky number 7 is going to work on that one with 11. 11 times 7 is 77, so we're going to go down here and use that same factor right down below. 6 times 7, you know your multiples, 42. Last one down here, oh, that's an easy one. You got ones and ones. How do you go from 1 to 4? Times 4 using the factors. Come down here, we're going to use the same thing. 8 times 4 gives you 32. All right, so we got all the practice done on the front. I'm going to ask you to work on the back and finish up that. Now, you do not need to simplify those fractions on the back if they do not work. Okay, so we got 5 is surrounded. 5 got 9 down below and it's got 2 to the side. It is not friendly with each one of them, so you're going to go back up. You're going to cross multiply and divide to help you find that missing number. So 2 times 9 is 18. 18 over 5 is going to be that number, and we can just leave it like that, or you can divide it out to get yourself a fraction, or get yourself a decimal. So looking at 3, we're going to lasso it and check it. 3 and 2 are not so friendly. 3 and 13, they're not good buddies. So we're going to cross multiply right here. 2 times 13 is going to give us 26. Divide by 3 to find out what that missing factor is. And 26 as a fraction over 3 would work, and that equals F. That's what's missing. You could divide that out to get yourself the equivalent decimal. Lasso 7, take a look at it. 7 and 3 doesn't work out. Oh, we got lucky right here. 7 and 21. There it is again. All right, 7 times 3 is 21. So you're going to go on the other side and do the same thing in the same direction. 3 times 3 is 9. Y, the missing value for Y is 9. And we're just going to finish up the last one here, number 7. We're going to lasso 18 because it's got a buddy to the right. We got a buddy down below. I'm going to check and see it. Nope. 18 and 8 does not work. 18 and 9 sure does. Divide by 2. Come on over here. Divide same thing, but same factor. Divide by 2. 8 divided by 2 is 4. A is our missing. A is equal to 4 for our missing number. Well, thanks for joining us for this helpful YouTube video. All right, you guys have a blessed day.